If you've been on social media for the past few years, you have probably seen people doing pull-ups all the way down to their waist. Now, are these actually worth it, or are they just a party trick? Should you actually train high pull-ups if you want to learn skills like the muscle up, or is it just a waste of time? Well, that's what I'm gonna talk about today. So make sure you stick around, as I'll give you everything you need to know about the high pull-ups and if it's worth your time. Hey, what's up? My name is Henry, and if you're new to the channel, I cover calisthenics and fitness, and I'm just taking you guys on my journey. I hope this can be motivation to keep pushing and keep getting better. So let's get into the video. If you look at the high pull-up, it's very easy to tell how different it is from the regular pull-up. Regular pull-up, you're going vertical, arching your back, trying to get your chest to the bar and pulling your elbows back. This is very different from the form of a high pull-up, because the high pull-up, you're not arching your back. You're trying to get in a C shape and try to go around the bar. Even start with a little momentum at the bottom. The regular pull-up, if you have some momentum, that throws you completely off. But momentum is what you need to do the high pull-up. Now, why do people recommend the high pull-up to learn skills like the muscle up? The high pull-up is really good at training that explosive strength. It's not very good for training hypertrophy or endurance, because you can only do so many before you get exhausted. Now, this is where the high pull-up falls short compared to the regular pull-up. Regular pull-up, it requires less power, less explosiveness, so it's much easier to do them for a lot of reps. Now, the reason why people recommend a high pull-up for stuff like the muscle up, because like I mentioned, it trains your power, trains your explosiveness, and that's what the muscle up needs: power and explosiveness. I've been training calisthenics and working out for a little while now. About the end of 2020, start of 2021, I started training high pull-ups for one goal, and that goal was the muscle up. I'm sure a lot of you here are watching because you want to learn the muscle up. You want to get that feeling of flying over the bar, that euphoria, that excitement of getting in there. First important body weight skill. You probably saw online to train the high pull-up. That's exactly what I saw when I was on YouTube trying to learn all the tips and tricks. For almost a year, I just did high pull-ups non-stop. I even added weight and then dropped the weight and then did body weight sets. I used resistance bands. I used so many things, but it was honestly a mistake. I neglected one important thing. In my experience, the high pull-up is an intermediate pull-up variation. It's something you can really only take maximum advantage of once your regular pull-ups are pretty strong. Once you can explode up and then control the negative. Once it feels like you're flying doing regular pull-ups, that's when I think you should really start training the high pull-ups. Don't try to skip the line and go straight into high pull-ups without a strong base. You know, once you have 3 sets of 10, maybe 3 sets of 15 pull-ups, high pull-ups can be really good, because you need a certain base level of strength to even get the most out of your high pull-ups, unless you train strictly with resistance bands. High pull-up is purely power. There is technique, but a lot of it is just raw power. As a beginner, if you don't have experience training pull-ups, or if you're not coming from a weightlifting background where you've already been doing a lot of back exercises like rows, any kind of back training, you will struggle with the high pull-up because you don't have that strength required. That's why training the basics and getting really strong at regular pull-ups can get you pretty explosive. Once you're pulling the bar, once you're getting your chest really close to the bar, then you start incorporating high pull-ups. Once you have that base level of strength, you'll already be able to get the bar pretty low. And then once you start just specifically focusing on that explosiveness, then you can start getting the bar even lower. Now, like I said, I didn't do this. I focused purely on high pull-ups when I wasn't even really good at the basics. Like, I could do 3 sets of maybe 8 pull-ups, but I didn't train the basics enough. So I spent a lot of time just trying to build the strength, the explosiveness to get the bar down to my chest, the top of my chest. And it was a bit of a waste of time, because I could have done that with the basics, and that would have just helped me build more muscle as well. Doing the basics, I would have built more technique, and it would have been a much faster progression to the muscle up. Now, the method for getting better at the high pull-up is by training your regular pull-ups or your weighted pull-ups. If you have weight, that's awesome. That's a great way to get stronger and more explosive. If you don't, then your best bet is training pull-ups in the 6 to 10 rep range and just getting quicker and more explosive on your way up, and then controlling the negative. Try to get your body firing as quick as you can. Try to get your chest to the bar as quick as you can. That way your explosiveness will transfer over to high pull-up, and you're reminding yourself to explode as fast as you can. Now, the technique is different, but they carry over pretty quickly, and as long as you're mindful of the technique, you should be able to just a few reps and you'll be feeling comfortable with the technique, so don't worry too much about the technique. Eventually, with your regular pull-ups, they'll turn into chest to bar pull-ups once you're strong enough, and once you're doing this, it'll make your high pull-ups a lot easier. If you're liking this type of content, make sure to subscribe. It'll definitely help out the channel. You'll get more tips and more videos on my journey and how to get better at fitness and how to get better at calisthenics. So, hope you're enjoying. Finally, after enough training, after getting strong enough, developing that explosiveness and having a good grasp of the muscle up technique, I was able to learn the muscle up. You can even watch one of my videos on how I learned the muscle up and the exercises I used. But it felt so good to hit that muscle up, and you're probably dying to hit your first muscle up. And I just want to tell you, you will get there. It takes time, but you can definitely do it. The benefit of training the high pull-up for your muscle up is that you get the first half of the technique down. You learn how to pull the bar correctly, you learn how to swing correctly, and how to initiate the pull. That's usually a difficult part for a lot of people because some people don't even swing and they just try to go up and through the bar. But if you get the high pull-up down, that's already half the battle won. To train the muscle up, to get the technique down and become efficient at the movement. However, if you have a strong high pull-up, it makes the muscle up a lot easier. The rest of the battle is just getting enough explosiveness that you can generate the momentum to shoot your chest over the bar. Now that takes time. It was frustrating. For a long time, I felt like I wasn't making enough progress, but the progress comes slow depending on your training methods. Now, does the high pull-up actually help the muscle up? In my opinion, it does. The high pull-up is the first half of the movement. It's the first half of the skill. You get that down, once you get the pulling half dialed in, once you know how to do it in your sleep, it makes the muscle up a lot easier. You should definitely do the high pull-up, train it if you want to learn the muscle up. But one thing, enjoy the journey. I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoy this type of content, I'd love for you to subscribe. My name is Henry, and thanks for watching this video.